The following podcast is rated W. For wait, wasn't this supposed to be classic reviews?
Yeah, well, shit happens, Bob.
Whatever. Live from the P3 Network Studios, this is Around the Nerd, with your host,
Frost,
and the independent Pokemon champion, Bobo.
Yeah, we've waited for our time to come, calculated everything we've done, we've upgraded. Now you can't outrun a champion. Now you're facing one. Can you hear them? Yeah, it's all for us. You believe them? Yeah, it's serious. Hear the siren. We're victorious. I'm telling you.
Welcome to Around the Nerd on the P3 Podcast Network. We are live on Spreaker.com, YouTube, that thing, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. I, of course, am the one and only Bobo. I am joined tonight, not by Umsi, but...
Frost, I am also here.
Frost, how you doing, buddy? It's been a couple weeks.
It's been a while. It's been a bit.
Yeah.
I've been getting my ass kicked at work, so...
Oh, understandable. So, yeah, actually, speaking of work... I'll let you go first, because I have to send a message out quick.
Alright, yeah, so, basically, we're kind of in the middle of a game of musical...
Oh, jeez.
So, one of our girls left the store. Our assistant manager has basically all but up and moved up to Stevens Point, where she's now working at another store in Point that just kind of sniped her from us.
Aww.
So we have she planned on doing it anyway, but anyway.
Oh, okay.
So it's just the official employed members are just me and the store manager right now.
Oh, wow.
And so we have one of the assistant managers from another store coming through, the guy from the Schofield store helping us out, and then he's only there till the end of May. Once he's done at the end of May, we have to find an actual assistant manager. It can't be me because I've missed one fucking pay period of my numbers, so I'm so pissed about that. But then I'm just sitting. But so when he leaves at the end of May, we're going to be short-staffed again. But on the upside, means I'm working full-time.
That's good.
I ain't getting fucking benefits or nothing, but I'm getting money.
Yeah. You got to work full-time for a certain amount before you can get benefits, yada yada. But, all right. So, I planned on going and seeing Endgame yesterday.
Yeah.
$5 movie show, right? Easy peasy. I could afford that. I'm not that poor. Well, one of my coworkers... Oh, hello, phone. Oh, that's twice. One of my coworkers came down with C. diff.
Ish.
Yeah. Kind of reminds you of the time we had the plague, didn't it?
Oh, good lord, that fucking event. What the fuck? What happened? What message? Oh.
So, anyway, I ended up getting called into work, and I had to close, so I couldn't go see Avengers Endgame. So, yet another week of solid disappointment.
Yeah, I've got my own issues with Endgame, and it's not actually with the movie itself. It's with fucking Disney and Marvel being moronic about what they just did with the Spider-Man trailer. Because after the fucking Russos... Okay, so the Russos went on such a fucking campaign. They took out ads in every single major newspaper in the country. They put ads on social media all over the place. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of it. Basically saying, hey, look, we want you to enjoy this movie, but please don't spoil it. Marvel and Disney are like, fuck that. Let's just make the opening scene of the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer one of the biggest fucking Endgame spoilers of the entire fucking movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
The fuck?
Now, we're not going to spoil. We're not going to spoil anything. Because there are still people who haven't seen it. And even if you have seen the Far From Home trailer, there's still a lot that is...
Oh, trust me. It's a 3-hour-long movie.
Yeah.
And that 3 hours is packed. Like...
Yeah. So,
I didn't get up to piss the entire film.
I am planning on doing exactly the same. It's just going to depend on when I'm able to actually go see it, and hopefully it's still in theaters next Tuesday.
Oh,
in Anigo. In Anigo.
Oh, in Anigo, maybe. Yeah, that's the issue.
Yeah.
There.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, worst comes to worst, I'm off Tuesday. If you can find a way down here, I'll pay.
Oh God, you're funny.
I'm just saying, if you can find a way down here, I will pay your way. I will pay your ticket.
I would happily bike to Wausau. Happily.
Yeah.
But you'd have to scrape my dead ass body off the floor of your apartment.
I'm just saying, if you could find a way down here that wouldn't kill you.
Okay. I'll figure something out.
'Cause I'm more than willing to go see it again.
Well, I'm sure you are. I'm more than willing to do what I did during Power Rangers and run out the door to piss and miss the after credits scene.
Well, here's the thing, and I know this is like, it's not really a spoiler.
No, and I've had it spoiled.
In that case, but there is no end credit scene in Endgame.
Yeah.
There isn't one. There is a small, there's like a 2-second sound clip that no one can fucking discern as to what it actually is. But other than that, like, it's just nothing. Like,
yeah, see, I would be perfectly okay with binging on like 3 or 4 of those big ass sodas, and then, yeah.
Well, no, I went with my brother-in-law and my dad because my dad paid for my ticket. Nice. And my brother-in-law, like, my father and I were leaving the theater, and my brother-in-law is sitting there like, I'm going to watch the end credit scene. I'm like, there isn't one. He's like, how do you know? Because it's common knowledge right now, dude. But you never know. I'm going to sit here and watch the end credit scene. And then he read that there was 14 minutes of credits. And he's just like, his reaction was just like, well, fuck it.
Yeah.
Well, fuck it.
Yep.
And, like, again, I will say flat out, like, the movie it's 3 hours long, and that 3 hours, it's packed from the beginning to the end. There's a couple of scenes where there's a lull, but it's intentional. And that's just the kind of, like, storyline there. But, I mean, I don't want, like I said, I'm not spoiling a damn thing about this movie, because it's something that you...
respect the Russos.
I respect the Russos. I respect the fact that you are my friend, and I'm not gonna fucking spoil that entertainment for you, because obviously...
Thank you, because I had the last 2 episodes of Game of Thrones spoiled for me.
Yeah.
I got bitch slapped with a spoiler so hard, my head was still spinning the next day.
Yeah, my brother, like, picked me up from work one day and just talked about Game of Thrones the entire ride home, not even asking if I've seen the last 2 episodes.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, well, fuck, man, whatever.
Oh,
I'm gonna
no.
I'm gonna binge watch the entire season at one time. I'm not gonna watch it weekly. My thing is, especially with Game of Thrones and long-form shows like that, I don't like waiting for the episodic nature of it. I like to just go ahead and
watch it like a movie.
Just watch it like a fucking movie. Watch it like a fucking marathon. It's what I did with this latest season of Supernatural. because season 14 just hit Netflix. Season 14 just hit Netflix yesterday.
Yes, it did.
And also today, as of 1 p.m., Lucifer season 4. Guess what I did at work today?
Watch Lucifer season 4?
Yep.
Yeah, no, I have to watch season 1 through 3.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, seasons 1 through 3 are on Netflix, then you can watch season 4. Season 4 is much shorter than seasons 2 and 3, which I'm perfectly fine with because Netflix did a very good job, and they did something that honestly a lot of people were very concerned about because like they didn't know, like no one knew that show was going to survive. Like, just to be perfectly direct.
As soon as I found out that Tom Welling plays a character, I was like, yeah, I need to watch this. Like, why the fuck am I not watching this? I love Tom Welling. I have watched Tom Welling from episode 1 of Smallville, which was basically his first credit. His first big credit. And you can see him evolve through the 10 seasons of Smallville into a phenomenal actor.
Yep.
I can't wait to see what he does on Lucifer.
Yeah, my whole thing is, and I'll be like very direct about it, like when I was watching it, like I have followed, his character got introduced in season 3. It was it was completely out of nowhere, and everything that happened with his character was great. But like, it's so odd to me that a character that was so loved, like universally loved from the moment she was introduced, was just like literally thrust in with no context given, no story, no opportunity, and like just everybody instantly fell in love with her character. And I can see why, but it's just so interesting that like we get an entire season of Tom Ellis being Tom Ellis, and the chick, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but the chick who plays the detective, just like being a great foil to him the entire time. And then they just like literally just shoved this new character in that fit perfectly within the narrative and the story, but had no explanation of why she was there.
Huh.
And it's so unusual how that worked, but it worked so well.
So I'm planning on starting Lucifer this week. As we know, my plans generally just kind of fall into chaos, and just dissolve into absolutely nothing.
I have fragrant boobies.
But I'm going to do my best to try and watch it this week. I am planning tonight on getting caught up with Game of Thrones, though. So, yeah. So, another thing that I really wanted to talk about, and we're going to get to that here in just a minute, because before we do, I want to give a shout out because I don't have the commercial loaded up. I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Mojo's Electronics, in Anigo, Shawano, and Oshkosh, Wisconsin. They're a great contributor via sharing our podcast on social media right now. We're currently working on a business plan to actually be able to monetize, get some full sponsorships going. But the Anigo store is moving currently, so they're going to be closed until the 10th. They reopen on the 10th, actually. So they reopen on my son's birthday. A little bit of a early birthday, Ethan. Happy birthday.
Nice.
But anyway, Mojo's Electronics is an exclusive friend of the P3 Podcast Network. Now, first and foremost, I do want to say, as soon as we are able to get Karisma, we are doing another classic review. We are doing a classic. Yep, and we are doing a classic review. We're dragging you along, Frost. You don't know it yet, but we're dragging you along.
You can't drag me along to something Pokemon related because I will sniff it out and find it myself anyway.
Well, you didn't find the first 3 episodes.
Well, that's because I've been, like, this depressed ball of nothing and, like, unable to live as human.
So, another thing I want to do that same night, and I'm not letting Kari off the mic until we do both.
Yeah.
And she's being told she's not allowed off the mic. And God, I really hope she listens to this, because I can see her in my mind's eye deep-throating the mic right now.
You know, why not?
Because I told her I'm not going to let her off the mic.
You know, it works.
And that was my poor choice of words. Anyway, enough about deep-throating.
This is a feebly picture.
No, it's not. Shut the hell up.
I know it's not, but still, I like to joke around. Fuck.
Yeah, I know. It just makes it that much funnier. But anyway, no, we're going to get that classic review of the 3rd installment of the Pokemon games. Now, that's going to be our last classic review of Pokemon, because the next generation that was released was on the DS.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel like classic fits for that anymore.
No.
But we'll move on to bigger and better things. We're also going to get the format done a little bit better on the classic reviews. We're not going to make it like well, first you do this, then you do this, then you do this, and then so on and so forth. I actually want to sit down and we're going to figure out exact topics to talk about in each game. But again, that's in the future, and we really hope that you guys tune in to that. That's going to be classic reviews. And yes, we went from classic reviews to vintage reviews. And now it's going to be classic reviews again, because I made a new opening and I love it.
Sounds solid.
But anyway,
my drink is all gone. I feel sad.
You what?
My drink is all gone. I feel sad.
I didn't bring one upstairs with me, and I ate like 25 mushrooms. So
yeah, well, I have tacos. I have leftover tacos in my fridge. I'll be fine.
Nice.
I want to get it done. But anyway, no. Yeah, I am a huge, like, when it comes to Pokemon and all that stuff, like, I was a late bloomer, I'll admit. I played Blue and Red, and then Gold and Silver, and then I kind of missed the Ruby and Sapphire era and everything like that, and then I came back into it in,
Diamond and Pearl, wasn't it?
No, I came back into X and Y.
I
came back. So I missed the Ruby Sapphire, the Diamond Pearl, the Black and White worlds. I missed all of that. I came in X and Y. I enjoyed X and Y enough that I went and picked up Sun and Moon, and then I ended up having to pawn my 3DS when I had to sell it to GameStop for like food money because I was poor and sad and pathetic.
I remember that.
And yeah, you remember I gave up my shiny Protean fucking Greninja?
Yeah, I was kind of hoping you would, send it to me, but whatever.
Yeah, well, I didn't. You didn't have it at that point.
Yeah, I know I didn't. I'm sorry.
Like, I could have put it in the Pokemon Bank, but that would have just done no shit that would have worked on that. So fuck.
But anyway, I actually want to slightly switch gears.
Okay.
I picked up the War of the Spark pre-con deck.
Yeah.
The Jace one.
The one whose ultimate is Venser's +1?
Blue-green.
Yeah, the Jace Planeswalker, his ultimate is Venser's +1.
Yes. It's
minus
the
6
nerfed
draw.
one because it's the nerfed one because they never do the good one in.
No, they'll never do the good one in the Planeswalker deck. They'll never do the good ones in the Planeswalker deck because they're meant to be bad.
But you know what? Here's the thing. There is I did a test play.
Yeah.
And with this test play, I ended up with a 24/24 Hydra on like turn 8. And
yep.
I swung for kill. Unblockable.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what that deck does. I mean, it's a low power level deck, but it will obviously, like, if you get the God draw, certain good things can happen.
It wasn't even that. It wasn't even a God draw. It was, I drew the blue-green Planeswalker.
Mm-hmm.
I drew the copy spell that you can copy a Planeswalker and it's just not a legendary Planeswalker.
Yep.
And I drew a couple of proliferate cards. And that Hydra. And I drew the Hydra turn 7 and I'm looking at it, I'm reading and I'm like, oh boy. Oh boy.
This is the thing. This is the thing that's happening.
And drop it on the table. Pay for it. Turn 7. Untap everything. Excuse me. Had 18 counters on it. Take my next draw. It's the give it 2+1/+1 counters. And it attacks this turn unblockable. Can't be blocked. Drop that. Proliferate everything. It was a 25/25 for lethal.
Just imagine that. Just imagine that in Modern with doubling season.
Oh, no. See, what I want to do is I want to tear apart my green deck that I have. And I don't want to tear this deck apart. I really don't. But Triumph of the Hordes.
Yep. No, I understand. Trust me.
And then that other one that... oh, yeah, by the way, +4/+4 trample and infect.
Yep. But no, so speaking of War of the Spark...
Okay.
Have you heard about the Mythic Edition?
Hold on. No, I have not. Sorry, I'm sitting here just jizzing in my pants a little bit from that idea that I just had.
No, I get it, trust me. But, okay, so, with Guilds of Ravnica Allegiance, and now War of the Spark, Wizards of the Coast released a Mythic Edition booster box. This Mythic Edition booster box contained 24 packs, and 8 of those packs, which were clearly marked, contained a special alternate art, full art Planeswalker. Foil, basically these were masterpieces back from like the Zendikar expeditions, the Kaladesh inventions, the Amonkhet invocations, all of these, except for they were sold in a box. They were sold in a booster box for $250. with a lower with a less number of booster packs than in a standard booster box, and the first run, which was the Ravnica, the Ravnica edition, was sold exclusively on the Hasbro online toy shop, crashed the fucking site, and over half of the people had their orders canceled because they released them in such a limited quantity.
I have fragrant boobies.
So they learned from their lesson and were like, okay, fine, we'll move it over to eBay for the Ravnica Allegiance version. The Ravnica Allegiance version comes out. They have they don't sell out because people realize how, low value it actually is when it comes to the walkers that were in the set and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And all this other crap. No investor actually wanted them, so they just sat there and finally sold out after 7 days. Which, considering there was less than 20,000, that's kind of impressive.
Yeah.
The War of the Spark ones, however, as a way of kind of we gotta kind of push this a little bit more. They announced flat out that there was only going to be 12,000 of them printed.
Oh.
And they announced in that same announcement that 2 well-known planeswalkers and high-value planeswalkers from the last few years would be in that box.
Okay.
Those 2 high-value planeswalkers are Jace the Mind Sculptor and Ugin the Spirit Dragon. So suffice it to say, there was hype. There was hype around this box. At which point, when it went on sale, they sold out in 5 minutes. Just flat out. Sold out in 5 minutes. The 12,000 were gone like that. Because of course they're going to go down. Because that Jace is going to be worth $200 on his own. Because a foil Jace the Mind Sculptor from the Vault fucking 20 is $130, and that's a shitty fucking foil version. This is a full art, alternate art Planeswalker variant of Jace the Mind Sculptor. It's gonna be worth money. I get that. Just hold on.
Okay, I'm holding on.
But after those 12,000 sold out, the numbers kept climbing on eBay.
No.
The numbers of sold units kept going up.
Up
and up until it hit about 45,000.
Oh no.
Wizards released a statement saying that people's orders would be canceled and their money would be refunded. But now there's been at least 200 confirmed people saying that they didn't get refunded. They have shipping confirmation, which means Wizards flat out lied about the number of units being produced to cause this hype, knowing this issue was going to happen and making it so that there was an inflated sense of value on the product. Granted, keep in mind, the Ugin and Jace alone are going to carry the cost of that box, even if there's 50,000 of them out there.
Right.
Because that, again, Ugin is a $70 card on his own. Jace the Mind Sculptor is 100-some. It's not a question.
He's gone down.
He's gone down, yes, because he got unbanned in Modern, and people realize, holy shit, a 5-mana Planeswalker in Modern is really fucking slow.
Yeah.
But, he's still Jace. He's still fucking Jace. He's still Jace the Mind Sculptor. He still literally wins you the game. Although the new Jace does it better because he literally has a clause where if you go to draw your card at the end of your turn and you don't have a deck, you win the game. So
and the thing is with the new one, I'm buying a pack of War of the Spark every week. Every week. One pack.
Yeah.
I'm limiting myself to one pack. That or I'm buying one of the Planeswalker decks, and that's it.
Well, the Planeswalker decks they come with one booster pack, don't they?
Two.
Okay. So you're paying $20 for 2 boosters and a couple of them.
15.
Oh, that's right. They changed that. They lowered the price. That's right.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Good deal. Good deal.
Yeah.
I actually talked to a local card shop owner here in town who has ordered me a box of War of the Spark that he's keeping just for me to come in and buy one a week.
Not bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I've known this man for 21 years. I bought a 1993 pack of trading cards, football trading cards from him.
Mm-hmm.
I pulled a rookie Brett Favre card.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's back when he was relevant.
Yeah. I was like 11 years old. He was my fucking hero.
I get it, trust me. But and I get that. I understand that too. It's just I have such when it comes to the War of the Spark situation though, with the Mythic Edition in particular, I have such a sour taste in my mouth because of it. Because this is clearly Hasbro going hey, why are you putting these really valuable cards in booster packs for everyone to get randomly when we could literally sell them? The 12,000 units made Hasbro over $2 million.
Well, yeah, of course it did.
It's just so mind-boggling. How Hasbro can just be hey, we're gonna just we're gonna shove ourselves even more into Wizards and push them out of shit like that. Because if those Planeswalkers do if they did what they did with the Zendikar expeditions and shit, with the War of the Spark, with the Planeswalker, the Mythic Edition Planeswalker, those would have so much more value because they'd have to be pulled. They'd have a rarity to, so that now, I'm pretty sure you don't know about this either, but the Japanese variant of War of the Spark,
right?
They commissioned different, I think 15 or 16 different artists to do alternate art versions of Japanese exclusive of the 36 Planeswalkers. There is an alternate art, and they appear at a 50-50 chance to our other Planeswalkers. The Liliana was done by the guy who did the artwork for Final Fantasy VII.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
That foil Lily card is going for $700.
That doesn't surprise me at all, considering who drew it.
And it looks beautiful. Oh my god. Just take a look. When you get a chance, take a look
when
at the Japanese.
Done, I'll look. Hey, throw it up on the podcast. Podcast page.
The podcast page.
I am fancy because it's a podcast. Share it up to the podcast page.
Yeah.
Let
me just go ahead and...
Yeah, whenever you have a moment, just go ahead and do that.
I'm grabbing it right now.
Yeah, then our listeners can know what it's all about.
Yeah, I'll put it up here in the Discord, and then I'll throw it on the podcast page on Spreaker in a second too.
Please, by all means.
This is what I'm go ahead and take a look at that. That's all 30. That's all 36.
Okay, let's see here. Bear with me, guys, if I just kind of go because it means my internet is we got better internet, and it is better. It's a lot better. But it's still the country.
Yeah, where's the fucking... You haven't linked me the last 3 episodes, dude. I don't know where the page is right.
Hold on. Yeah, I gotta wait and do this when I get downstairs. I don't have enough bandwidth up here.
Okay. Let me just go ahead and I'll find it,
Yeah, just clip it to me. I will link you to the page. How about this? Share it to me. I'll share it to the page.
It's in the call, dude. I have it's sitting right there in the call.
Okay. Right. Hold on. Okay, I guess I can pull it up on my phone. I just can't do it from up here.
Right.
But anyway. Yeah, no, that's kind of bullshit, to be fair.
It is. And it's just something that, like, you know, we've got this concept of War of the Spark is this big, like, it is the end of the Bolus storyline. It is the end of the story of the Gatewatch and Bolus, and, like, it is the literal end of Gideon.
Well, I mean, yeah. Unfortunately.
In a sense, I mean, I have a very strong feeling. I have a strong feeling we're going back to Theros before the next 2 sets are over.
Yeah.
And we're going to run into our good old friends Elspeth and Gideon. But...
yeah. Oh, yeah. No question in my mind.
But Gideon's not in Nyx, though. That's the thing. Gideon's not in Nyx. If you actually read the card for Heartwarming Reunion, or, like, yeah, Heartwarming, like whatever, I can't remember what it's called.
Right.
Like, Gideon is in Therosian heaven. He's not in Nyx. He's not in the underworld. He's in heaven because that's where he belongs. He's a hero. He did everything he could. And, oh my fucking god, they ruined him in the book. But that's a story for another time.
Yeah.
Because holy fuck that book.
I agree with you. These alternate arts are amazing.
Look at the Liliana.
I did. She's absolutely awesome. Like, I love it. Like, it's such a cartoony look.
I love the Tamio one especially. Like the Liliana and Tamio one.
Like, I'm taking a screenshot. I'm actually going to take a screenshot and send it to one of our listeners quick. Just so they know what we're talking about.
Fucking Narset, though. The fucking Narset, the Jace, the Wanderer, the Peo.
See, the Jace is okay.
The Jace, yeah. I mean, I prefer the standard art for Jace. I also don't like the Gideon. I think the Gideon looks a little too, like, he's a little too soft, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, he looks too much like an anime hero. Yeah. Way too much. Like, hi, I'm an anime pro tag, thanks.
Yeah, no, but, like,
Sup,
the Narset in particular, though, with her hair and shit.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, I agree. Like, it's awesome. So I am currently... No, stop it, you piece of junk. Sorry, yelling at my phone. Bear with me
but
here,
the other thing is too, those are only going to be in Japanese packs or the standard showdown packs that'll be released at FNMs over the course of this year.
Oh, well, yeah, because, you know...
That's the only way these cards are going to get out there. Is, again, they appear about 50% there. It's about a 50-50 split in Japanese packs as to which one of those Planeswalkers is going to be in there, as to which one of the art versions is going to be in there. And then it's going to be very rarely, like about a 10% chance that they will be in a standard showdown pack. And keep in mind that, like, you're not likely to get a rare or anything like that. So that Lily is going for a shit ton now.
Well, yeah.
The Nicol Bolas is probably going to end up getting up there too because he's actually playable too right now in standard. Like, even though he costs triple black Grixis mana, just the power level of that card, fuck.
I'm trying to remember here how to share it to my... There it is, on my page. P3's number 107 team. And share.
Oh, it's the Facebook page. Yeah. I'm a special person.
I mean, so am I. But yeah, no, I like... The Liliana is cartoony too, but she's a pretty cartoony.
I love the Lily though. I love it. It's just so perfect. Like
she's such a pretty cartoony. I like the Jace. I do. but I don't like it as much as I like the original art.
Yeah. Although the Tybalt makes Tybalt actually look cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
Like, despite the fact that it's fucking Tybalt.
Yeah. Well,
although Tybalt's like Tybalt as an uncommon planeswalker is actually playable. He's a 3-mana walker. He's a 3-mana walker that has a clause where your opponents can't gain life. He's a 3-mana red card that's just an enchantment where your opponents can't gain life. That's really good. It's just like, but it's fucking Tybalt. But it's like, you just look at it and it's just like, but it's fucking Tybalt.
Yeah.
And then you have Sarkhan right next to him, who, like, I've said this before, and I'll say it again too, it's safe to say that Sarkhan is just a fucking Pokemon at this point, because literally his answer to everything is dragons!
Dragons! Yep.
Sarkhan, what are we having for lunch today?
Dragons!
Dragons!
But okay.
Although with him now being, fuck, my headphones came out. No!
Good.
No!
Because we're out of time.
No! Okay, it's back.
Good, because we're out of time.
Yeah.
We have, like, a minute and a half, so we got to wrap it up.
Yeah, the whole 45-minute time limit thing, I'm not a fan. I'm gonna put some money into so that we can so that we don't have to be restricted by a fucking 45-minute time limit, man. Seriously.
Yeah, it gets hard. It gets hard.
2-hour podcasts are the way to go, bro. First hour have talk bullshit. Last hour have like sections and fun stuff and like actual stories and just like.
But it's you, me, and Karisma. It's an hour.
First hour talk bullshit, make vulgar jokes, and occasionally talk about something podcast related.
And make
Second
fun
hour,
of you.
yeah, true enough. Second hour,
make fun of you more.
Second hour, make fun of me, but then get fucking serious and actually get into the topics of the podcast. That's kind of
third hour, because it's 3 hours for the $20 one.
Yeah.
Third hour, we talk about how much you love Operation Overdrive. It's just not as much enough. It's not as much fun. You don't scream.
No,
it's not as much fun.
I've become desensitized.
And I blame Max.
It fucking broke me. I just like I'm like
blame Max.
Yeah, well, I don't blame anyone. I blame myself, and I blame the fact that I was without internet for however fucking long.
But
like, good God, man, I just like I don't know.
Nope, I get it. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here on the P3 Podcast Network. We are going to see you again, hopefully early next week, and then hopefully later next week as well. Thank you again so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Yay!